Now, when Andretti got denied entry by Formula One back at the end of January, I ken it wouldn't be the end of the situation. But I didn't think it would get as messy as it's gotten. So I'm sure we're all aware by now that the US government has gotten involved with them sending a letter to the wire Formula One a couple of weeks back. I will just say, by the way, I'm not an expert on American politics, just to put that out there, because, and I'm not too sure how obvious this is, I'm no American. But frankly, I'm no expert on Scotland or UK politics either, so all I know about Scotland and UK politics really is that there's a higher chance of pigs starting to fly than there is of the Tories still being in power after the 4th of July. Also, the absolute shithousery of Sunak, a Tory, being trolled by "things will only get better," the sign used in Labour's winning campaign for 1997, blaring in the background as he's announcing the general election and getting drenched by the rain as well because he's clearly forgotten that umbrellas exist. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's shithousery like that is why sometimes I love this country. Sorry, I got off topic, but I want to get too much into the letter that was sent to wire Formula One a couple of weeks back because we all kind about it by now. But then the other day, word came out that there's a group of influential senators that called on the Justice Department and Federal Trade Commission to investigate Formula One over its decision to reject Andretti Global from racing on the grid in coming years, suggesting the sport may be violating American antitrust laws. Apparently, the letter was sent the way of Jonathan Cantor and Lena Khan, who are the Assistant Attorney General for the Justice Department's Antitrust Division and the Chair of the Federal Trade Commission, respectively. A part of the letter apparently read, "It is possible that such a refusal to deal, especially if orchestrated through a group boycott, could violate US antitrust laws. Last year, F1 hosted 3 races in America, in Miami, Las Vegas, and Austin, while no other country hosted more than a single race." So of course Imola got cancelled, so Italy only hosted 1 race instead of the 2 it was meant to. Clearly there's a financial incentive to adding an American team to F1's roster, and there's no reason they should be blocked unless Formula One management is trying to insulate its current partners from competition, i.e. trying to protect the European teams. But the thing that really sparked me to kind of make this video is the latest bit of news I saw coming out on NBC News when I got up this morning. That apparently a Formula One owner personally threatened to shut out Andretti. This article goes on to say that apparently Mario Andretti said that at an event over the Miami Grand Prix weekend, Liberty Media's CEO Greg Maffei said to him, "Mario, I want to tell you that I will do everything in my power to see that Michael never enters Formula One." Standard statement applies with basically half of what I talk about here. Take this for what you will. As of recording this video, then Maffei and Liberty Media have not commented. However, apparently a source close to Liberty Media claimed that the events occurred differently, saying that Andretti approached Greg at the breakfast to have a discussion with him, and during that conversation Maffei indicated to Andretti that his application to join the grid in 2025 or 2026 had been rejected for good business reasons. Good business reasons. So, money, basically, that they see as that's a good business reason? I don't know, seriously, what did Andretti ever do to piss off Liberty Media, aside from trying to join the grid? But Andretti said that he is still hopeful that a solution can be worked out for them to join the grid within the next 2 years. He also said, "We're bringing something of value. It's a big investment in the sport that we love, or the sport that is our job and our passion. It's a long-term commitment. We've done everything that needs to be accomplished. It needs to be done to earn a spot in Formula One. What else do you want us to do?" Like, it is a question. What else does Formula One want Andretti to do aside from coughing up a bucket load of cash? And all this is, of course, happening as there was also the news recently that Pat Simmons has been hired as their executive engineering consultant. And that is a big signing because Pat Simmons, he is a veteran in the kind of technical world. Technically, like a veteran technical figure in the world of Formula One, so that's a big signing for Andretti. Of course, they the other month opened up their new facility in Silverstone. They will have a facility in America as well. They've got teams of people. Cadillac is going to be coming in with them in like 2028, I believe it was. Michael and Mario are not giving up, and you have got to appreciate their persistence and the hard work they're putting into trying to get in, despite everything that Formula One has thrown at them to try and keep them out. They should, by all means, be allowed onto the grid because I think Andretti will bring value to the sport. And like, surely they'll get there eventually, because if you throw enough shit at a wall, something will eventually stick. But as messy as all this is already, I can't help but feel like it's only going to get messier, especially with the US government slash senators involved now. And of course, Liberty Media is an American company, and F1 seems to have a crush on America and has done for a long time now. It's like they're like, oh, we absolutely love the United States of America. We love it so much. Sorry, what's that? Let an American team onto the grid? Okay, no, hold up. We don't love America that much. This whole thing is just gonna get worse before it gets better, honestly, in my opinion. And a small tangent before I end the video. The F2 and F3 calendar for 2025 were announced the other day, and I have some thoughts. First of all, F3. Now, the calendar opens as follows. Round 1, month break. Round 2, month break. Then round 3, which is the first of a triple header. Yeah, because that isn't cause for fucking carnage, isn't it? Like, I'm sorry, we saw what happened when you had a big gap in the calendar in Imola. F3 was ever so slightly carnage. And well, there's 2 F3 drivers but aren't going to be allowed to race at Silverstone because they did like a GB3 race or a GB3 test or something like that at Silverstone, like during the break between like the Australia and Imola. I know they're not going to be able to compete at Silverstone because it would be seen as, you know, some kind of like advantage or whatever. So you're having big gaps in the calendar, but then you're penalizing drivers for doing other racing? I don't know. And later in the calendar, they're coming back for 1 race after the summer break. Now, I can't is Monza, but can they not just either shorten the season by 1 weekend and have a 9-weekend, 18-race calendar, or just go or move the Monza around to like Jeddah or something like that? I mean, come on, Formula 2 and F1 Academy already goes there. Why can't Formula 3 go there? And before anybody says, it's a technical street track, Formula 3 goes to fucking Monaco. That argument is redundant. And in Formula 2, now, similar thing to what I said for Formula 3, there is a month-long gap between rounds 1 and 2 because, you know, that's not going to cause carnage. But later, the big thing is later in the year, there is still that stupid 2-month gap towards the end of the calendar. Why? Why not just shorten the calendar by 2 weekends, have instead of a 14-weekend, 28-race calendar, have a 12-weekend, 24-race calendar and end it in Azerbaijan. Or just go to a couple other venues, like, I don't know, F2 used to go to Singapore, send them back to Singapore, and then go to Kota or something like that. There's just certain things about the F2 and F3 calendars that make no sense whatsoever to me. But I mean, there's always gonna be stuff about calendars that don't make sense. There's stuff about the 2025 Formula 1 calendar that doesn't make sense either. But I think I've done a video on that already, so I won't go into details of it here. But regardless, I'm gonna leave this here. What do you make about this mess going on with Andretti? Well, let me get your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.